Well, good morning and welcome back to another 5-minute Friday. Very quickly, just on the GoPro at the moment because I'm not sure how much audio I'm going to be able to record outside. It's reasonably windy. It might be a little bit sheltered down where I'm going to, but we'll have to see. Some very good potential out here because there's some lovely clouds and they already look to be taking on just a little bit of colour. We're probably about half an hour, 40 minutes away from sunrise. I won't get the sun directly at sunrise, it still has a little way to climb up, but hoping for a little bit of light. Let's get out there, let's get blown away. Hopefully we can record even a little bit of audio, but we'll see. Well, this is where knowledge of a location and also thinking on your feet can help. So it's a very popular place for both photographers and also for wild swimmers. And I had an inkling that there would be some swimmers coming down this morning, even though it is pretty rough. There are areas that you can kind of just grapple onto. So that's kind of one of the reasons, but also because it's I kind of had an inkling this would be the case as well, because it's been very churned up and very kind of not really huge waves that would wash out the little sort of swimming pool. It's just very foamy and it's just not going to be very nice. So it's time to start considering, something completely different here. I've obviously come out here now, so it's time to, just look at a completely different angle. I will throw up a couple of images after this little section off this location, but not from this morning. Right, best get on because of course this is 5-minute Friday. Okay, so that early morning light that I was hoping that was going to be illuminating some of those clouds is kind of subdued just a little bit, which is frustrating now. The clouds kind of up to my right here, your right, my left, look to be taking on a little bit more colour, but whether or not there's a bank of clouds on the east, which of course I can't see, getting rid of things, subduing the light. Really do need a little bit of colour in those clouds. Got myself in a horizontal position, just got the polarizer on at the moment just to take a little bit of the glare off those waves. And there's a little crop of rocks here that I'm working with and a little crop to its left. But even here it just seems a little bit too foamy. So whenever you do anything over like half a second exposure time, it doesn't really give you any definition, it's just a lot of white foamy nonsense. So all might change though with those clouds taking on a little bit of colour, but we'll see. So we actually ended up getting some nice colour in those clouds. There's still some lovely colour going on. There's also a load of gannets about as well. Normally they've headed more offshore by now. One of the challenges is behind me, you probably can't really make that out. The clouds are starting to dissipate a little bit. There's still a few, but the best clouds are actually over this way. The problem is with that composition, I'm getting in a lot of the far headland, including lots of houses and stuff, so it's not great. The other thing as well is it's probably going to get a little bit better now that the light's starting to kind of increase. I can certainly see the glow of the sunrise in the distance behind those houses, so although there is quite thick banks of cloud. The other problem as well is somewhere between just having the polarizer on and a 4-stop, that's probably where I wanted my exposure time. Now obviously I could have played about with ISO to give me the exposure time that I wanted. I'll probably just hold fire now and let that light develop just a little bit more, because again with those lots of foam about and lots of sort of swirl, I think when you're having sort of 4, 5, 6 seconds, it's just becoming a little bit too washed out and you're losing a lot of that energy. So the swimmers have gone. In fact, looks like they're all just heading off now. So I might change my position a little bit. Not necessarily shoot into the pond again, but at least be able to sort of go down there and maybe change my position. The rocks over here as well take on some lovely light if that sun does present itself. So beautiful. So I think we're just about to get some direct sunlight, but it does look as though some of the best conditions with some weather moving through has been across in Donegal. So I've actually brought myself over to the rocks that I spoke to earlier, and I think I'm just going to play about here, just doing a little sort of some abstracty type images with just the rocks. There's lovely lichen on the rocks, and there's a few little gaps through to the sea, and with a fast enough stroke slow enough shutter speed, i.e. about half a second, you can actually get some of that lovely sort of turn in the curve of the wave, which is what I'm looking for, rather than it being completely sort of smoothed out. So with the 4-stop on, I have been playing a little bit, as I said earlier, with my ISO, so the ISO 640, ISO 800, just allowing me to sort of achieve those shutter speeds. But as soon as we get this direct sunlight, I should be able to reduce the ISO again. So a little bit more abstracty stuff just with the rocks and the sea, but wishing I was standing much closer to those hills in Donegal, because right now there's not a huge amount of light on them, but that sunlight, I think, is going to give us some lovely conditions. A little bit of rain moving through, you might even get a rainbow over there. Oh, right, back to the rocks. We got some lovely light, as you can see on my face, and I'm not sure whether you can make that out now, but we also had a little bit of a rainbow scrambled up on top of the rocks. Nothing great about the composition, I must admit, but sometimes light makes you do crazy things. So you just kind of jumped up on the rocks and tried to frame something up, both in a horizontal and in a vertical position. A lot of that rainbow's now dissipating. I think that cloud is going to kind of obscure the sun in a few minutes as well, so I might jump back down from here and see whether I can get one more shot. Well, I didn't make it down in time, and as you can see now on my face, the light has gone. It's gone in behind quite a thick bank cloud. But hope you've enjoyed this little 5-minute Friday. I think it's going to be just a touch over 5 minutes, but yeah, always good to get out, always good just to get a bit of wind about your face, and I love this period of time. Obviously a lot of people quite rightly will head to the woodland and to the forest, and I hope myself to get a little bit of that. This time of year, the autumn, where you get that sort of those big sort of autumn storms moving in on the coast as well, and you've still got some gorgeous sort of cloudage in the sky as well. So anyway, I'll stop rambling because this is way over 5 minutes, and I'll go back and grab coffee. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, take care, bye bye.